I'm going to tie a hopper, old style hopper. This is a light wire modern hook. It's a barbless dry fly hook, which does pretty well on this type of fly. It's a fly that doesn't have any obvious positive buoyancy. You've got to gink it to keep it up, so a light wire hook works well. I'm using a sort of wine coloured thread and a wine coloured dubbing. The rib is flat pearl, which I'm stretching to make it thinner. You stretch it till it gets stiff, and that's tied in at the butt, tied in on the side. We used to do that. It used to go green, and the stuff we get now doesn't seem to go green. It goes bluish. Don't know why. Underbody isn't an important consideration here because there's going to be a fully dubbed body. It's dubbed the full length of the fly. The original fly was made with seal's fur, and I'm using seal's fur here. That's a sort of winey coloured seal's fur, which is wound on tightly. Any coarse, medium to coarse dubbing will do. I'm just sticking with the original as much as I can. So that's twisted on. That's twisted onto the thread, and then I wrap forward to cover the entire underbody. Come forward fairly quickly. I'm not trying to be too fussy about it. This is meant to be a rough and ready fly. It's meant to be a fly that gives a general impression, not detail, not specifics. So this type of rough body works really well. Helps with flotation as well. So that's wrapped forward nearly to the eye, and then I'm cleaning off the thread and getting rid of any loose stuff, just pulling out any loose stuff and evening up the body a wee bit. And come forward with a tinsel. I'm doing the classic try for 5 turns. You can see the way that the tinsel bites in. It gives a really nice segmented effect and a little bit more flash. Seal's fur is a naturally fairly glossy material, but the added flash is something else. Now the point of tying this for this issue was it uses knotted pheasant tail legs, and I'm using legs that it's one fibre that's got 2 knots in it. I'm going to use 3 on each side. You can use single fibres with 1 knot. You can use double fibres with 1 knot. It depends how many legs you want. I'm just tying it this way. Now this was called a hopper, but it wasn't a grasshopper. It was kind of used when daddies were around, which is quite a bit this season actually. And it's a small, leggy, buggy terrestrial that's been blown onto the reservoir. That's how I think about it. And it caught on really in Chew and Blagden, but it was a pretty devastating new technique for still waters back in the day. Now the head hackle is the stuff I'm using is probably too good. It's a red game cock hackle. You could use hen, and you certainly can. It was originally tied, I think, with Chinese, and I'm going to fold the fibres back a bit so they don't stick out like a conventional dry fly. I want them to come back over the hook, a bit more like a wet fly really. Now, bearing in mind that almost the whole thing is going to be ginked, the legs, the seal's fur, and the hackle. If I tie the hackle straight across the hook shack, I'm going to have to trim off underneath. If I tie it this way, I'm only putting in about 2 turns of hackle, and I don't feel that I need to trim underneath. Personal preference. You can do. It doesn't make much. I'm sure it doesn't make a huge bit of difference. I folded the hackle stem back, formed the head, and cut it away. Now that's a safety measure. Folding the stem makes sure that nothing can come unravelled. And then whip finish at the head, I'm not making a big fuss about trying to perfect this. It's as I say, it's a fishing fly. It's a rough and ready fly. It's not meant to be fussy in any way in my head. And then a drop of varnish at the end will seal the thread wraps. And that's it. That's as I tied them back in what would be the 80s, 90s. It's a Bristol-style dry fly that was used as a part of a team of 3, with Bob's Bits and 1 or 2 other grenadiers and things. It was a great way of fishing, and easy fly to tie.